Today's class, we're going to be having Miss Light, who is going to be taking us on mastering AI tools for storytelling. Mastering AI tools for storytelling. And last week, we also had an engaging and an amazing class where we taught about using AI to understand neurodivergent minds in Africa, in Nigeria, in our classrooms. So let's make welcome for today's class Miss Light as she takes us AI in storytelling.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and it's a rare privilege. Thank you so much for having me here. So let's quickly get started. Today we're going to be talking about mastering AI with storytelling. And I know that storytelling is not something that's new. It's not a new word in our space. So kindly let me know if you can see my screen now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can see it. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so mastering storytelling with artificial intelligence. I'm sure we have had a lot of we've had a lot of interaction when it comes to artificial intelligence. So I'm not going to bore you with what it is, the benefits, and all that, because I'm sure that every one of us have been able to go through those rudiments. So today we're going to focus on storytelling and storytelling as educators, storytelling in our classrooms. That is our focus for today. Although you need to also understand that storytelling can be in diverse forms. Storytelling can be it is integrated in every aspect of life. There is storytelling in marketing, there is storytelling in health, there is storytelling when it comes to, so it's just basically trying to create a narrative to sell, even in branding. So storytelling is can be integrated in every aspect of life, of a business, of an individual, of a brand, and this is very important. So this is also going to show us why it is important for us to bring the storytelling tactics into our classroom so we can prepare our learners for to become the careers that we have today, where they can be effective content creators, they can be effective storytellers, they can be effective brand managers, they can be effective digital marketers. So these are the basic rudiments or the basic elements that really help them. Someone says I'm not audible. Am I? Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you, but the voice is not much.
It's low.
Oh, okay. Okay, so can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma, it's much better.
So that everybody can hear me. Okay, so I was saying that storytelling is can be integrated in every aspect of our lives. When it comes to branding, comes to health, comes to marketing, it's very important. And the reason why we need to even know that as educators, so that we can prepare our students, our current students now, our current learners, for what they can really become tomorrow. Now the roles are really evolving. We cannot overflow that. So prepare your students to be great storytellers, to be digital marketers, to be content creators, to be a brand strategist, and all that. Story is part of everything. Story is everything now. Okay, so the purpose of today's presentation is divided into four basic things. We're going to be learning understanding elements of storytelling. I'm sure that we have a lot of English language teachers here, so this will not be new. Um, Identifying the basic storytelling process, using AI to improve this process, how you can use AI to improve the process of storytelling, then the ethics when it comes to using AI in storytelling, because we cannot talk about AI in anything without talking about the ethics, the basic ethics that everybody needs to understand when you're using AI. So the keywords today is actually artificial intelligence and storytelling. Those are the two keywords that we have: artificial intelligence and storytelling. So we're talking about AI, like everybody knows, because we've been talking about AI in different ways, talking about AI in teaching. We've been having different sessions over time concerning AI and what AI can do. So AI is can be summarized as the ability of machines, which is what we know, ability of machines to actually to be able to imitate human intelligence, think, make decisions, and so much more, solving problems and all. Then storytelling is the act of conveying narratives through various forms like words, visuals, actions, just to engage, to inform, or to entertain an audience, which is very so. The trick is you are either engaging, you are informing them, you are also maybe empowering them or entertaining them. Okay, so you're trying to use narratives like stories. And here in Africa, we are great storytellers. We have our folk tales, we have our different scenarios, different happenings that have happened over time. So we are good at telling stories. The wedding parties that I'll go for is a story on its own, the burial ceremony, the different festivals, the different cultures. Everybody has a story, a myth, something that has happened. For the Dua story, for the Yorubas, for the Igbos and Madras. So a lot of things. We have stories. We have stories. So we're just natural storytellers. And AI, it's not so AI is just to help us improve what you already have. So the next thing we are going to do is an activity. I want us to share our experience so far when it comes to using AI. What is the experience? What exactly is the experience? Oh, I'm so sorry. This is a mistake. Okay, but this is sort of the key takeaway. Just go straight to this code and tell me your experience using AI, or click on the link. There's a link in the chat box. I want you to click on the link and describe your experience using AI. Okay, and if you cannot use any of this, you can type it in the chat box. What is your experience using AI? Or do I really want us to use the link so that I can show you how this thing works? Some people are trying to, so I would really advise, kindly do not unmute, do not write on the screen. Some people are writing on the screen. We're not babies now. Let us not write on the screen. Unless you have a child beside us, let's keep our phone. Let us not write on the screen. It's going to distract everybody else. Okay, so quickly click on the link in the chat box. I'm also putting that again for those that may have missed it. And what you need to do is to type. You're trying to describe your AI experiences so far. You're trying to describe your AI experiences so far. I want us to quickly do that, and I'm going to show us different responses from people. AI experiences so far. So let's see, let's keep it coming. We have focus, we have creative, we have okay, so somebody said eye-opening, someone said wonderful, okay, beautiful, awesome, interesting, inclusivity, beautiful. Let's keep it coming. So all you just need to do, someone says impressive, fun and educative. You can just click on the link and put your yes, good. So this tool that we're using is called the Mentimeter. Okay, and it's something that you can use in your classroom. You can use it, and even for your if you're even as an exit point for your classroom, or even as a starter, if you're not allowed to use the phones in the school, or if you're not even a lecturer or higher education, you can actually use this. You can tell your students that, okay, what is the keyword, what is something from your class, and give it to them as an assignment that they need to something, they need to fill this in, and you share this in class. Everybody can see what they said. Okay, so you can see that everybody's putting in their companion, wonderful, tasking, it's fantastic, beautiful, it's improved grammar, it assists. Thank you so much. I really love to, I'm loving what I'm seeing because everybody is saying something good about their experience. Nobody is saying it's scary. I'm not saying scary. I'm not saying it will take my job and all that. So that shows us that as as individuals, as educators, the trainings that we've been doing over time is not in vain because we've been able to understand how these things work. Okay, thank you so much. Let's go back to our slide. Okay, so right now, the basic elements of storytelling that we have, we many of us understand this. We teach English, and it's just a revision for us. The basic elements are character, Whenever you're telling a story, there should be a character, there should be somebody that you're talking about. That is the major person or the persons that are really in charge. Kindly confirm again if you can see my screen because I can't see my screen on the
Yes,
Yes,
so we
screen.
we
can
can see
see
your
your
screen.
screen and we can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you. So the character, that is the person that takes part, the major person in the story, that is the character. Then we have the setting. Setting is where is it Lagos? Is it Abuja? Is it Benin? Is it America? So those are settings. Then we have the theme. What is the central idea? Why are you writing that story? So for instance, we're talking about mastering storytelling for with AI, and this is the theme. So if you want to write a story about this webinar, I'm saying that okay, that Miss Light was the facilitator of this particular webinar. She's a major person here. And I'm saying that okay, this happened virtually, it was online. If you're joining us, kindly mute so that everybody can enjoy the class together. Then we have the theme, and the theme has to do with the central idea or the belief. Then we have the plot. Plot is a series of events. You say, okay, she started with the introduction. She talked about storytelling, the meaning of storytelling. She talked about the keyword. She gave an activity to talk about help us describe our AI experiences so far. So you can see the series, the plots. You're trying to tell it, okay, what happened from the beginning to the end. That is the plot. Then we have the conflicts, like a struggle between. So when you talk about conflict, it's not like talking about just the struggle alone. It's like, okay, what really happened at the time, but there's something, and which is something that you eventually find out as I go. Where is that point where I'm saying that okay, there's an argument or there's something I'm talking about. I'm really trying to push like a particular ideology or something. Then we have resolution. What's changed? What was the storyline? What was the twist and all that? And how did it end? Okay, so that is exactly just the basic element when it comes to storytelling. And why do you think it's important? You may be asking why am I even doing this? I'm not a literature teacher. Neither am I um neither am I in an why am I doing this and all that. So this is it. This guides you, okay, to be able to create something that is one unique and something that is very authentic. Because, like we always say, which is something I'm going to also overflog again today, AI is not the teacher. Okay, AI is just meant to assist you. But once you understand these elements, okay, what am I meant to do? How does this work? How will I do this? Okay, so how do I even get started? What do I do next? And all that. Once you have these guidelines, once you have these elements, you are able to create a story first. Then you now use the AI to help you improve it. Next thing we're going to talk about is the storytelling process. So that is the element. Element is what are those things that you need to see in your story. Okay, that is the element. But now the storytelling process, there's actually a process when it comes to storytelling. And for me, I just put it into four. There are different, you may read different ideologies or different concepts of different people talking about their own process. But now when I want to create a story, like I'm always saying, like I said initially, storytelling is not just what happens in your classroom. You can also use it for your brand as an educator. You want to post on LinkedIn, you want to post on Facebook, okay? You want to sell something, you want to talk about your experience. You're going to get your audience more interested in what you're talking about when you use the storytelling approach. Or even in your classroom, you want to explain to them that you want to explain a topic. So let me even use a science topic, and you want to talk about adrenaline. So the reason why I remember that is because I remember a story from my teacher in school. Biology was not really my very strong strength. I later found that when I was writing WAEC, when I was about writing my WAEC in SS3. Okay, but it was easy for me in SS1. Why? Because my teacher then, before he was changed and moved and went to a better school for he was always using stories to illustrate, talk about what he was, talk about his experience and all that. And I found out that because of the stories that he was, I was able to remember during examination whatever questions were asked, because I link every question to the story that he narrated. So one time, he was trying to explain to us what adrenaline can do to you. We're talking about different enzymes, yes, different enzymes in your body. So he talked about adrenaline. So he talked about the fact that they were in the village then, and he was reading at night, so he had to go up. We had to go to a church to read because there was no light, so they could only get light in that church, and that was even a lantern, something like that. He was from a very poor background, so he went there and he was reading, and the next thing, his brother was trying to play a prank on him. Then the brother took a white bed sheet, covered himself. Okay, I'm so sorry. Can you everybody hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The
Yes, loud and clear.
okay, it just started raining here, and the network the light went off, and network too. Okay, so giving a story that trying to talk about the importance why as individuals is also very good if we are able to sorry if we are able to improve storytelling. So my teacher was saying that he was reading and saw someone that wore white, and the next thing you not even know when he flew like a 20-step staircase. Like it was when he got to the ground, I was like, wow. So I was able to fly that. So that itself helped me remember that particular incident when it came to talking about that topic. So the very first step for storytelling is brainstorming. The very first step is brainstorming. You have an idea, want to talk about something, you begin to ask the questions, okay, where did it happen? What really happened and all that. You begin to brainstorm. Okay. Then second one is drafting. So at this point you have an outline of what you want to do, like a sorry you have an outline of what you want to do, like different things, outlining what you really want to do at the end of the day. Okay, just to really ensure that you are including the element. Kindly mute yourself.
Ya gida. You're looking so take away. Diamond, ana dai. Yau amma ba zuwa. Yau dama Millionaire School ne so. Na ce yau meeting Millionaire School.
Okay, hello. Kindly mute yourself as you join. It just helps everyone to be able to enjoy the class together. So when it comes to drafting, you're outlining so that I'm ensuring that everything is inclusive, all the elements, the plot, the theme, the what happened and transition and so much more. Now developing, this is where you get to expand your idea, you intend get to expand your story, you get to build it, and make sure that you give it life and flesh and all that. Then we have the reviewing stage, which also has to do with editing, where you're polishing your story, you're trying to ensure that it's right, it sounds you, it's something that reflects what you really want at the end of the day. So that is what you do under the review stage. Now, this is the big deal. AI, when AI meets storytelling, what kind of tools can we use as teachers when we are trying to work on our storytelling, our story? When it comes to brainstorming, which involves generating ideas, you can use ChatGPT. We all know ChatGPT. And right now there is ChatGPT 5.0, which is actually a very big change. Yes, because it's really helping now with collaborative learning. Okay, a lot of questions have been raised about AI not encouraging critical thinking. So that's where ChatGPT 5.0 actually comes in, and whereby you are able to have like a conversation with ChatGPT. You're asking it, is you're putting in prompts, it's asking you questions that you're meant to think and all that. Okay. Then we have Miro. That is also a collaborative tool where you can use to brainstorm. Initially, you usually have Jamboard, but now we have the Fig Jam. So Jamboard, you could use stickers or you could use sticky note features to be able to arrange your idea. So there at that point, you're trying to do a storyboarding kind of scenario, you're trying to brainstorm the ideas, you're including the plots, you're answering the question on what exactly is the theme, what am I talking about, and all that. Okay, kindly confirm again if you can hear me. Some people said they cannot hear me. So kindly confirm again if you can hear me. Okay, I would
We can
really
hear
like.
you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Now, the next one you
Okay.
can use, we have the Canva whiteboard. So Canva whiteboard is also a very good tool if you want to brainstorm, because there you are not you're trying to put the ideas together, and you can do this with your, so if you, now let's even bring it to a classroom scenario, you can do this stage with your students. Okay, and if you're working in the online space, Zoom is also good, because on Zoom you can integrate the whiteboard feature. You can use the whiteboard for brainstorming. Okay, you can also use Google Meets, the whiteboard feature, also for brainstorming. Then we also have the Google Doc or Google Slides. So that depends on what you really want at the end of the day. When it comes to drafting, we have a tool called Sudowrite. Okay, Sudowrite is also very good. It just works like ChatGPT, but now it works majorly for storytelling. So it's something that you may want to go explore later. Sudowrite. Then we have the Google Doc, also for drafting. We're able to like type your ideas, able to build on what you've already brainstormed, add some, outline it, ensure that okay, this is the plot, this is our setting, this is our so many other features that you want to include in your storytelling, your story at the end of the day. Then we have Canva AI. You can use Canva AI also for drafting, to draft your story. Then developing. Under this stage, you're trying to add so much flesh to what you have done. Okay, so at this point, you can use ChatGPT. You can use Canva Magic Write. It's same thing as Canva AI. Then you can also use Notebook LM. Google Notebook LM is also very good, because at this point you may want to convert whatever you're writing. I know storytelling, remember what you said at the beginning, is a narrative, either words, visuals, or even videos. And we have podcasting, which is another element. So podcasting, you can use Notebook LM to achieve that. Whatever you've written, you're trying to develop it, you can put it into a podcast, you can put it into an audio form, and all that. That really helps. Okay. When you come to reviewing and editing, that's where we have Grammarly. So Grammarly really comes in to help us with the reviewing, with the editing aspect. We also have the Qbot, and we also have the script. So these are tools that you can use, AI tools that you can use to be able to do what? To achieve a good story, to tell a good story. And they help you with every process, from the brainstorming stage to the reviewing and editing stage. Even sometimes if you are going to work with these tools, for instance outside the classroom, maybe for your brand as an educator, you want to put something on LinkedIn, these tools also help you with, sometimes can even help you with the posting aspect, scheduling your posting either on Facebook or some or so other social media platforms, whereby you're not always posting every time manually. You just schedule your post and you're good to go. So you can see that AI is really helping in so many ways. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is ethics. Like I said, you've taken time, you've used AI to help you with all this process. You need to take note of the following while you're using AI. It's very important. One, you need to be very authentic. You need to sound you, okay? Because there can be different biases, there can be hallucination, okay? And it can be because of, hello, Fagbo, I think you should log out and log in again. I guess it's just from your end, because I've really confirmed again if they can hear me. So I'm going to reconfirm so that I'm sure everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, kindly just give a thumbs up or type yes in the chat box. So let me know if you can hear me clearly. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Adeleke Fagbo, please kindly log out then log in again. I'm sure you don't want to miss our class. Don't worry, I'll take it slowly so they can join in. Okay, so now be authentic. It's very important that you're very authentic. We cannot overlook that. You edit your AI drafts. Right now, somebody was saying the fact that when you come to maybe on LinkedIn, you're seeing different people sounding the same. Why? Because it's AI generated. Everybody knows that, okay, there are certain words that are AI generated. But now you find that even educators, they go as far as even just copying the thing verbatim and pasting it directly. You're seeing the hyphens, the long dash that is always, that this is an AI work. You're seeing the comma that is in a very interesting place. You're seeing the exclamation where there's not meant to be exclamation. You're seeing enhance. You're seeing there are some words that we just notice is actually sounding like AI. You're seeing the short form. I'm thrilled. I'm excited to announce those kind of things. Okay, so you need to really edit. It's very important. Okay, and when you're working with your students in the classroom, you need to edit those AI drafts for originality, so that AI is just meant to help you with the storytelling process, not for you to be able to, not for it to now be the storyteller. AI is not the storyteller. You are the storyteller. AI just helps you with the story. So this means that you already have an idea of a story in your mind or in your head, and AI is just helping you with it. Then you have to be inclusive and avoid stereotypes. Most times, right now, when you're trying to create videos online, you're trying to create audios, podcasts online, sometimes we find out that there are stereotypes when it comes to the kind of video. For instance, a friend of mine was trying to create a video on InVideo, using InVideo, which is a tool that you can use. So I'm going to quickly type that here. In case you want to create a video, you want to generate a video from text, you can use InVideo. So she was using InVideo, and she was trying to find out about the Hausa, no, not Hausa, the Efik tribe of Nigeria. And she created an e-video to explain the different culture, the Efik culture. And interestingly, AI was bringing AI was bringing more of the Igbo culture, which we both know, or which we all know is not, it's not it. Okay. So you have to make sure that you are inclusive, you're including everybody. Charlie, in your write-ups, your storytelling in class, tell a story that cut across everybody. Look at the background. You are not trying to stereotype anybody, you're not trying to like body shame anybody or shame anybody or anything. You're just involving, carrying everybody along in your class. It's very important. Then finally, be transparent and creative. There is nothing wrong in actually telling your student that you see this particular work is AI that co-created it, that I was able to do this with AI, especially if you're teaching the colleges or higher education. Is very important. The reason is because you're trying to help your students understand the importance of referencing, the importance of being transparent. Because even if you're going to do a proper research work, you need to state where you got your information from. You need to state the things that you read, the books you read, and all that to help you to be able to create that content that you're creating. So that is very important, that you can be transparent. You can, and also be very creative, very, very creative. That is very important when you're trying to create stories using AI. Let's quickly play a prompting game before we do round of today's session. So quickly, we're going to be using ChatGPT. The reason why I'm going to use that is because that is the tool I can, is open now on my laptop. So I need to quickly log in. The game is, we're going to look at how to prompt. I'm sure that we've learned how to prompt in different classes, because we know that prompting is also very important when it comes to creating a story. Okay, so I want anybody, okay, so what is going to happen is that I want someone to give me a character, something like a character, a setting, and a problem. So I want someone to give me a character, a setting, and a problem. Remember, the character is somebody you want to talk about, the major person in the story. The setting is where the story is happening. The problem can be the theme, something they want to talk about, for instance. So who is ready? Anybody? So that we can create a prompt using that. So that we can create a prompt using it. Okay. So we want a character, a setting, and a problem. Okay, yes, thank you so much, Abdul Salam. Abdul Salam said Ajayi, so Ajayi is the character. Thank you. Setting, where is this story going to take place? Setting, where is Ajayi based? Lagos, Ibadan. Oh, we will take Lagos first because in Ngozi. So Ellen Duru, give us a problem. Give us. So the problem is not like a problem, just like a title or a theme that you want to talk about that is going to involve Ajayi and Lagos. What do you want to talk about? What story do you want to write about? We're going to have Ajayi and Lagos being in that story. Okay, someone said bus conductor. So bus conductor is like a character, hardship. Okay, someone said hardship. Okay. Someone said goes to school, the philanthropist. Okay, settle of boundary issues. Beautiful. Okay, I can see. Thank you so much. So please, I'm going to ask everybody, let us take Ellen Do's something, the philanthropist. So the reason because I had asked she contributed first, and we did not take the first contribution that she did. Okay, so we have Ajayi, we have Lagos, and we have the philanthropist. Please, this should involve schools or educators. Yeah, obviously, it's something that you can use in your classroom too. We thank you so much, Guru, for also talking about that. Okay, now let's look at this. Remember that we have Ajayi, we have Lagos, and we have philanthropist. So we're trying to, first of all, what is the very first stage that we're going to do? Who can remember? Can you put in the chat box? What's the very first stage when it comes to writing the story? What is the very first stage? Okay, yeah, brainstorming. Good, good. So brainstorming, what's the next process? Let me quickly know if we are following. What's it after brainstorming? The next one is what? After brainstorming, the next one, drafting. Beautiful. After drafting, what's the next one? After drafting, then we have what?
Developing.
Developing. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, then after developing, finally, we have what? After
Review.
review and edit. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. I have amazing educators that are learning. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Let's move now. So we have our story. Ajayi is the character. We have Lagos, and we have the philanthropist. So okay, so we're trying, you have an idea in your mind. So what comes to my mind now is talking about the struggles of being a philanthropist in Nigeria, something like that. And I have Ajayi and I have Lagos. So I'm trying to, so let's imagine I'm working with my students. We're trying to look at the aspect of giving and the looking at the fact that, for instance, let's even look at it from the election point of view. Okay, we're trying to talk about the electoral decisions we're looking at electoral, talking about elections as in maybe in government. I'm talking about the fact that philanthropy can be disguised to buy the mind of the people, and also may play a very bad role or a very huge role in giving us bad leaders and all that. Okay, kindly note if you are just joining. Hello, Nashiru. Nashiru Sani, kindly mute. Nashiru Umar Sani, kindly mute, please. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's talk about that. The scenario is this, so that we're able to get it straight. I'm teaching election or electoral commission to the, I know there's a topic in government that is election, that is about elections or the government. So we're talking about elections, and we're trying to talk about the importance of them voting, and talking about the importance of them exercising their rights when they get to that age, and what they need to do to be able to choose the right leaders. Let's now imagine that philanthropist now came up, okay? And Ajayi is a politician that is going for like a position in the government house, and is also a philanthropist, because a lot of them, that is the angle that we actually go through, okay, giving and all that. So philanthropists give things to people to help for their good and for positive. But now we're not looking at the aspect of, can this some my students are SS school students, SS2, where I'm trying to really work with them on critical thinking. I'm trying to build their critical thinking skills. When I'm trying to look at this aspect of philanthropy, is that okay? Can we call it philanthropy? Can we say that okay, is a philanthropist? Can it be used in a bad aspect? Can a politician be a philanthropist? So I need to form a story around that. Okay, so I hope this works. Now we have to have a prompt, and there are two things I can do. Okay, there are two things I can do. It's either I reach out to ChatGPT to create a prompt for me for the brainstorming process, because I want to be able to create this story with my students. I want them to be able to give me their information and all that. So I can ask for the prompts that I can use, the prompt questions I can use during the brainstorming process, before we now look at creating a story around it. So I'm trying to teach my students maybe the storytelling, looking at the electoral aspects. So I can go on ChatGPT and say, okay, I'm an educator, act as an high school government teacher working with the senior secondary students in a college here in Nigeria, specifically SS2. Sorry, SS2. Trying to create a story around the negative around election. Okay. In this my story, so I'm trying to create a story with my students around the election. In this my story, Ajayi is a Lagos politician and is going for the House of Assembly position. Okay, he is also regarded as a philanthropist. Okay, right now I'm trying to build critical thinking skills for my students using the storytelling approach. Okay, so kindly craft brainstorming question that can help me achieve this goal and okay, and create a story that is relatable in this scenario. Relatable and as agile and as the highlights I have shared, which are Ajayi, okay, Lagos, and philanthropist. Okay, so the reason why we have to do this is so that it's going to be as detailed as possible. And let us see what AI is going to generate now. Okay, so now we can see what is saying that, okay, who is Ajayi? What do you think people are going to know him and all that? What role does House of Assembly play in Lagos State and all that? Okay, then there's now a story outline where it says that Ajayi is a well-known philanthropist. For years, he has sponsored. Okay, now Ajayi has announced that he's running for the seat of in Lagos State House of Assembly. His goal, he says, is to bring development. The campaign begins. People are excited but also divided. Some people say Ajayi has been helping us for years. He deserves our vote. Others says the philanthropy makes mean he'll make good laws for Lagos. Meanwhile, Ajayi faces challenges from opponents who argue that it's this. Okay, so voters must decide: will they choose Ajayi because of his philanthropy, or will they evaluate his policies, his leadership, and plans? So now, this is something that you are yourself you can really build on with your students to now create a story around it. So you can see that the story itself, you're trying to make your students think and really understand the importance of removing emotions and really voting rights. Okay, and you can give them this kind of scenario that, okay, Ajayi is a philanthropist, he has been helping Lagos and all that. Now he's going for an election. Does being a philanthropist make Ajayi a something? Does it make him a good person for that post? And you want them to actually share their thoughts and create a story around that. So you can see that these are questions that you may want them to really ask, and ChatGPT has helped you to be able to look at these things, break them down, and build a story around it. So this is actually what helps. Now let us now look at so these are ways that you can. Oh, sorry, please. So these are ways that you can actually bring in this storytelling into your class. So looking at this now, for instance, what you can do is either if you're having a very large class, you can bring this class people into groups, and you now tell them that, okay, you're going to handle these aspects. This is a story. I want you to develop on the story. I want to talk about it. I want you to create a podcast on it. I want you to do something about it. So that way you're now building their own storytelling skills, which is very, very important. And like I said initially, then when you're building storytelling skills in your students, what it helps them to do very importantly, that it prepares them to be brand strategists, digital marketers, content creators, storytellers, because they're able to now introduce storytelling into everything that they do. So quickly the next thing is what do you think? So if you're going to you've already done this, you've already done the what can I say? You're trying to do the brainstorming aspect, you're trying to develop the story and all that. So what do you think is missing from this? So what I can do now is, after writing this in I can now bring this. This is a storytelling outline. So because of our time, I will not be dwelling so much on this, so that I don't know when. Okay. Can you send me a message? Oh, okay. Let me just continue. I wanted to really ask. Kindly give me. So let us, I'm going to use a Google Doc now. Okay, so what I can do is either kindly, please, I need to quickly charge. Okay, so what I can do now is I already have an idea of the brainstorming questions that I'm going to use to either develop the story into a bigger form. So the idea is philanthropy and leadership. Do they go together? We're trying to make our students understand that, okay, do they vote because the person has been helping, has been contributing to the good, giving money everywhere? Or do they vote because this person actually can lead and make the right decisions for either the country or the state, Lagos State, for that example. So now, brainstorming questions for critical thinking, which we are going to work upon, is I've already narrated that story. So I can now ask my students based on those brainstorming questions now is who is Ajayi? Why do you think people in Lagos know him? Okay. What does it mean to be a philanthropist in politics? What role does House of Assembly play in Lagos? Then you can now talk about the motivations. Why do you think Ajayi wants to run for this? So that means the story that you're saying should be answering these questions. How might his reputation do this? Imagine Ajayi in a debate. What kind of questions should voters ask him? Okay, if Ajayi has opponents, what might they use against him? What challenges can you think of a real life Nigerian politician and all that? So all these are things that you can now use to push critical thinking in your classroom. Now you can see that you first of all you tell the story. This is a story outline. And say, okay, let's talk about good leadership. Narrate Ajayi's story. Ajayi, the philanthropist, is going for politics. What do you think? Then you can now support with these questions to help them to be able to think. So you can see that you've used storytelling in that aspect to be able to push critical thinking in your classroom. Now, if you want to now develop this into maybe like a real story to talk about or to help to make your students to also add more flesh to this. This is a draft. This is an outline. Okay, and in your outline, this is a draft, this is an outline. Remember that in our brainstorming, we are trying to generate ideas. We generated idea that okay, Ajayi, Lagos, and what can I say? And philanthropists. Okay, now this is a story outline. Remember that you also need to change it. You also need to tweak it. You cannot just use it verbatim like this. This is a story outline. You've been able to create a story around those three words. Now, what would you want to do at this point? You are an educator. How would you want to flesh this? So what you may need to do is three things that you can do. It's either you are adding a dialogue to the story. Maybe you're making it like a script if possible, or you are just adding more flesh to the story, talking about where you really making it very descriptive because storytelling has to do more of show and not just tell. So an instance is where we have Ajayi is a well-known philanthropist in Lagos. I can now make it more specific. In March, Ajayi is a well-known philanthropist in Lagos. He's kind and a very good-hearted man. However, in March 2020 or 2023, he announced is also announcing that he's running for a seat, or just recently or last week, he announced that he's running for a seat in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Okay, so you're adding time factor to that story. You are also making it more descriptive. Okay, you're also adding more detail so that you are able to give your students that imagination in their head. Ajayi is a kind man. Okay, so they have an idea of who Ajayi is. He's a kind person. You can also even use description. Ajayi is a tall, dark, good, kind Yoruba man. Something like that. So they already have a picture of who you're talking about. Last month, they know that okay, it happened in we're in August, sorry. It happened in July. He announced his intention to run for the governor seat or to run for House of Assembly. Okay, so these are things that you now use to add flesh to your story because you can see that based on the prompts that you just gave, um, what can I say? Sorry, the ChatGPT just created a story for you, but now it's now up to you to add some things, add some flesh to that story to make it what more realistic, to make it reflect what you really want to achieve in that class. Okay, so you're trying to really reflect the fact that that philanthropy should not be maybe should not be a criteria for choosing a good leader. So you can now use that story to buttress that point. And at the end of the day, you then had like a moral lesson. This story is just to tell you that, or this story is just to explain to you that. So these are things that you need to really bring into the story so that it helps. So you just need to carry your students along. That is why I said AI is just going to help you to assist you in creating that, but it's now up to you as a teacher to put in your creativity, to put in your own elements that shows that it is you, that you're unique, that is not AI not totally AI generated. So before we round off, I want to quickly ask a question in the chat box. Kindly let me know, based on this outline that we have now, based on this outline, and at this point, if you want to talk, I'm going to encourage that you just raise your hand because I would want to hear what you have to say. Okay, so that everybody can learn from. We are all here to learn from one another. Okay, so based on this outline now, my question is, what did AI do well? What do you think AI did well? Okay, and what do you think needs the human touch based on this outline? So I'm sharing the outline now, you can see it on your screen. What did AI do well and what do you think is lacking? Okay, and let me also mention that when you're creating outlines, you need to also ensure that you're creating it for the year group that you're working with. It's very important. So you can always do the story in a way with the year group that you're working with. So I'm going to be looking out for anybody. Okay, we have Azaya. This person is sounding very familiar. Okay, hello, Obaseki. Over to you. I want more hands, oh. This one, everybody is now quiet. We're all learning together. So over to you, Obaseki. Kindly unmute and let me know. Based on what we have, is a short outline AI generated for us. What did AI do well? What do you say? AI, you try, you did this one very well. Then secondly, what is lacking? What human touch is lacking in this story? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning so much, Ma. I thank you for the class. It's been quite insightful. And good morning to everyone on the call. Well, I think one of the beautiful things AI has done in this scenario is helping us to save time, the time of sitting down to draft and think. You can it's giving us a privilege of just sitting it's like driving a car, just sit on the steering and just say left, right, up, stop, go fast. That's what I think AI has helped us in this story. And when we're talking about adding more flesh, I'm sure AI has a lot more to add. If we give the direction, the right prompts can help us in adding more flesh. So I think is the ability to just help us save time of writing, maybe typing, and mostly, and just being there to save our creativity in the direction that we want it to go. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Kindly raise your hand. and the floor is up to you. Somebody is really disrupting our meeting. If you know that you're muted, kindly mute so that everyone. Okay, hello, Issa Mohammed Adam. Kindly mute. Yeah, this is coming from your end. Kindly mute Issa Mohammed. Issa Mohammed, can you hear me? Kindly mute. Okay. Well, please, can
Yes,
you?
ma.
Yeah, kindly.
I hope you
Okay,
get me.
kindly. Do you want to talk, or you
What?
can? Do you want to answer the question?
No, I did not get the question well.
Okay, so I'm saying that based, so kindly mute first. Kindly mute yourself first. Just click on that microphone icon. Beautiful, awesome, thank you. Okay, so I was saying that based on this outline that we have now, what do you think AI did very well? What do you think AI did very well while creating this outline? And secondly, what do you think is lacking? What can be better? Okay. Thank you so much, Aminu. You have the floor. You can unmute and talk now. Thank you. Hello, Aminu. Aminu Sada, kindly unmute. Okay. Thank you so much for answering this question, Mr. Azaya Obaseki. Thank you very much. Yes, AI
Can you hear
says,
me now?
okay, beautiful. Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, your question is maybe what do we think the AI should have added in the outline?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, sorry, according to me, storytelling is all about the lessons that maybe the students can draw from the story. So I think the flow of the story should have gone to the extent of maybe telling us what has happened to Ajayi at the end of the day. That maybe this what he has been doing as a philanthropist, what has it led to? Has it been a good person, or maybe he has disguised so that he can deceive people? I think the story should have gone to that end. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Aminu Sada. I think I saw one more person. We'll just take that person and I'll move on to the next thing. Oh, an engineer. Okay. Oh, Issa Mohammed, you want to talk now? Okay, you can kindly unmute and talk. Yes, you have the floor.
Hello, good man.
Good
I
morning.
just want to suggest. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Please, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes,
I
talk.
just want to make a suggestion. I just
Okay.
want to make a suggestions.
Okay.
Some of the questions cannot be heard through the speakers. So instead of saying the questions, some questions should be typed in the chat so that we'll be
Oh, okay.
answering either verbally or we write the answers in the chat.
Okay, sir. Okay, that is noted.
That's my
That is
suggestion.
noted. No problem, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, you can mute now. You can mute now, sir. Okay, Florence, you're the last person, and we'll move on to quickly round off. Hello, Florence. Now you can talk. Hello, Florence. You raised your hand. So before we move, let me just quickly type the question. The question is based on this story outline. So I'm typing that now. Based.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Yes.
Yes. Concerning the question you asked, that what way do we expect that AI should have added to the story? Just like the person that spoke before me said, I think they should have added to the story that should let us know what really happened during the election. Uh,
Sorry, Madam Florence, can you unmute yourself again?
oh, sorry. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
we
ma'am,
can
go
hear you
ahead. I
now.
hear
You
you.
can talk.
Yes, that we should have seen if the man later won the election or not. And if he did not win, what are the reactions of people? If he did not win, what are the reactions of the opponents? I think we are supposed to see that in the story. At least should have gotten to the end of the story so that we can learn from what has happened to the man. Thank you.
Okay, kindly mute. Once you finish talking, you mute. Good. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so just have these last two people and kindly just summarize and make it short so that we can move on to the next thing. Esther Akemode. I'm so sorry. Please pardon me if I murdered your name.
No,
Okay.
no problem, no problem. Good morning, everyone. So, based on the prompt we gave ChatGPT, I think it has actually done a perfect work of the brainstorming. We wanted it to provide a means for us to provide a story that we wanted it to brainstorm for us. So it has been in the case of writing that stating that it's built borehole, it's generalized all that a philanthropist could do for a community. So it is now left for us to put in our input by putting contents to what to what it has given to us. I think it has actually done a very good job. And thinking about the part that maybe the part where we have this hyphen, it would have just joined it together rather than putting an hyphen. And some other generic language that we have there. It did a great work based on the prompt we gave it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, Abdullahi Bafa Manu, kindly unmute and talk, sir. Hello, Abdullahi. Can you hear me? Do you want to talk? Okay.
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
What AI is doing that is always saving a time, and what AI lacks is what you type on the AI. It will not give you direct what you need on your mind. That is what AI lack. Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Ngozi, you're the last person. Ngozi Ekumba. Kindly mute if you're just joining.
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, ma'am. Okay, we can't hear you
Good
again.
morning. Good morning.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so and the AI really tried, but the aspect of background, because you need to know the background of the character, what prompted him to vie for this post. You know, even though he's a philanthropist, we are told, but sometimes the childhood, the background, the family, the foundation, I think those things really help. It gives an insight of who this person is really, and not just that the person just wanted to buy loyalty. I think that's the aspect.
Okay, ma. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, kindly mute, Mrs. Ngozi, because we can still hear your background noise. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Oluwaferomi, you are asking that you don't know. So if you want to raise your hand for next time, kindly click on reaction. You see that there's a love sign. There's a love sign that has reactions. So click on the reaction. When you click on reactions, then you see raise hand. Oluwaferomi has quickly done that. Okay, Janet, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Thanks for this opportunity. So I wanted to say that those what people have been saying, that we're supposed to know what ended the politician, we're supposed to know if he was voted for or not. I guess all those ones should be under the human touch. You know, he said we'll actually have to add some things, like we have to actually have to add the human touches to what AI gives to us. So I think that should be part of the human touches, those what it later became and all that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yeah. So remember, like I said, what everybody has said is correct. And I'm so happy that you'll be able to interact and engage with this class. So you know that, like I said, there should be something left. AI can't do everything for you. It can, but it should not make it do it for you, because it's just like you lending your brain to AI. Someone said recently that we are developing AI tools and leaving our brains. So where your brain comes in now, or where our brains now come in, is we now have to put those things into action, put in the human touch, and so much more. Before I call it a day, I want to quickly do something on Canva, so that everybody knows how to use the Canva AI to create stories, simple stories. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my Canva app. Well, I'm already on Canva anyway. Okay, so this is my Canva app. Sorry, give me some minutes. Escape. Good. So kindly give a thumbs up if you can hear me, if you can see my story, if you can see my screen. Kindly give a thumbs up if you can see my screen, please. Yeah, so I'm going to show you a book I created using Canva, and I'm going to, okay, beautiful. Okay, so this is a French book. I also do French, and I wanted to help students to be able to know how to say some things in French. So this was designed on Canva actually, but now this was designed one after the other. Okay, put things step by step. But there's a better way to design. So let's look at this Ajayi story, for instance. Okay, so I'm just trying to quickly show us something. So let's imagine I want to create a story. Okay, so let me just use a storybook, for instance. Okay, no, go to my templates. So I create a blank story. So let's look at how AI can help us. I'm talking about Ajayi. So let's imagine I'm talking about Ajayi, the philanthropist, for instance. Okay. So there are two ways I can do this. It's either I go here and I look for a black man, something like that. Or I can use any of the photos. It's just that for me, naturally, I always like using um I always like using this one-on-one images, but you can actually use anything. So if you say Ajayi the philanthropist, for instance, maybe let's say for instance, this is my own Ajayi, just an example. So if I have this as Ajayi, and with the background, I just want it to be a countryside, okay, or a city. So kindly mute if you are, so a city background. So yeah, I have a city background, and let's say I'm going to be using this city. Okay, so if I come here, I do this one after the other. So this, I'm just trying to show you ways you can actually create something. So if I have this, I'm going to put it to the back position, and so let's say I have this. Let me use this one. So let's say I have this. Okay, so I now put my title here, something short, where I have Ajayi. So kindly mute if you're talking so that everybody can hear. So Ajayi the philanthropist. Okay, so let's say I have this. Can put any of the effects so that just use. So let's imagine I have something like this. Okay, so this is Ajayi the philanthropist. You can see the way I created it. I had to do some steps to do another step and all that. Okay, and I watched this Ajayi the philanthropist. But right now with AI, what I can just do is I can just do this. I go straight to Magic Media. Okay. And I use a prompt. I can say create image of an African man. So I want to, is a Yoruba man. So I'll say wearing agbada, okay, in Nigeria. Okay. The background is a lively city. He's the major figure. Wow. Background is blood. Okay. So once I do this, I choose what I want and I just go to generate images. Now, Canva gives you access to 500 credits every month, which is something that is good. Okay, so you can see this. Automatically, you can see that AI has helped you to generate this image. So I just choose any of them that I feel. So I can either say with a Yoruba cap, because I can see that I give us an Hausa cap with a Yoruba, something like that. Maybe a Yoruba cap, something like that. So let's see what it's able to create. I just hope it does not create the cap. It's something like that. Okay. So I think any of this works. So if I can choose this one, okay, I choose it. I set the image as my background so that it fills the whole space. And once I do that, I can now add this duplicate. So this is the title of my story. Okay, and I can now tell the other part of the story using this. So you can see that this is just a very simple way that you can actually use AI to create stories for yourself. You can do that. So if you're working with especially young learners, this is going to make a lot of sense. Instead of you just telling a story verbally, you can just create something like this with the stories, and you can always just use that as a form of presentation. Okay, so that everybody can see what's there. So you can see that it's more visual appealing. They have the imagination in their head, and you're good to go. And you don't need to waste so much time. You just put a prompt, generate an image, put your stories. So yeah, so that is what works. So let me just do one sample and I'm going. So if I say for instance, Ajayi is a well-known philanthropist in Lagos. Okay, for years he has sponsored schools and communities and children. So let me just use that as an instance. So I come back to my Canva and I put a new page. So I can use any of this so as not to waste time, or you can generate another image depending on you. So if I have this, I just come straight to my text, put in a small subheading, click on Ctrl V. Okay, so I have this way. I can change it to white so that it's readable. Okay, and depending on what I'm working with, I always like using the play pen sans. It just has this way of making it easier. So I can have it this way, and all I need to do is I can just go to shapes, go to elements, go to shapes. I can just bring in this. So why I'm doing this is just to make it visible. Or you can just do gradients depending on you. So if I do this, I can change this to black if I want. Change it to black. We can reduce the transparency. So that way it's not too dark and You can see. So you just continue this way. I'm so sure that you will agree with me as a teacher that if someone shows you this as a story and someone tells the story, you will prefer this one than somebody's actually telling the story, because this way you can see the picture, you add more to your imagination, and you can also follow with the transition. It really helps for focus when you're working with your students. Okay, so this is a way you can actually use Canva AI to do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go back to my slide at this point. I hope everybody has learned something. So that, yeah. So we're already rounding off. Quick activity. Kindly go to Menti again. I know everybody will say, why does she like Menti? But please, let's just go to Menti again. So go to Menti, and this time around, what I want you to do is to share one key takeaway from you, for you. What has stood out for you? What is your key takeaway from this session? Something I would really want to hear from everyone. And I want everyone to do it this time around. It's not hard. Just click on the link that I'm sharing now. Oh, thought I was sharing my slide. Oh, imagine. Okay. So kindly do this so that we can round off for today. What is key takeaway? Yeah, seeing is believing. Sure. Okay, so click on the link and share your key takeaway for today, and we'll call it a day. So thank you so much, everyone. As we keep on waiting for everyone to give their key takeaway, kindly put in your questions if you have questions, and yeah, but kindly share your key takeaway so that we are able to move on from there. So thanks to everyone that started sharing. You just need to type your answers, that is all. What exactly is your key takeaway? What have you learned from this session? So we've not seen any results yet. Anybody? Okay, very insightful. Click on the link. I really want everyone to click on the link. It's going to really help you if you know how to use this Menti, because you can use it in your class. You can use it in your classroom, and it's very, very good for surveys, for feedback, for anything. It's not just for webinars. So just kindly click on the link or use the code. Thank you so much, Bumi. Thank you. So you just go to Mentimeter, you just type in this code 15387886. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for your good words and good feedback. Kindly ask your questions also. If you have questions, put them in the chat box now so that we are going to work on it. Okay, thank you. Kindly share. For some of us who could join late, so sorry, Daniel. Yeah, well, just the major point is just for us to know that AI is not a storyteller. We are the storytellers. AI just help us. And we looked at different tools. That is just the basics. So I'm going to share the slides with Bumi later, and I'm sure you can get your from there. Okay. I'm also welcoming everybody to please follow me on LinkedIn. Yes, please. Let me just use this. Yeah, so you can also get more insights. Anything technology, I share it on my LinkedIn page. So you can actually follow me on LinkedIn. Hello, Bumi. Miss Light is done.
Yes, mom, with you.
Yeah, so I'm actually true. My final words are: you are the storyteller. AI should assist and not replace your creativity and critical thinking. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm actually done. I'm true.
Thank you so much, Miss Light. We are all wowed by the things we learned today, and I've been seeing everyone commenting about it. If you could also share the Mentimeter page so that we can see, that people can see their comments briefly before we end the call. Is that
Okay.
possible?
Yes, let me do that.
So, the PDF PDF document which contains the slides will be shared on the group, and hopefully on or before Tuesday, this recording will be uploaded on our YouTube page. So just be alert, follow the YouTube
Actually,
page
we are
so that
very
you can
few.
also get notified when we have posted the recording from today's meeting. And if you have any question, you can easily share it on WhatsApp. Miss Light is there. She's going to respond to it. So we're still going to have another class next week, 10 a.m., our usual class. So you can see your comments for those of us that have been responding on the Menti Meter website. So keep your response going. So Miss Light can also have a clue
Thank you
of
so
how the
much,
class was
Auntie.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you all so much for joining. Don't forget, we are going to have another class next week, and it's going to be as interesting and insightful as today's class.
Thank you
Do
so
have
much.
a
Bye
great
bye.
day. I look forward to the video being uploaded. So next week, we're going to be having the power of effective prompt. So you don't want to miss next week, Saturday, 10 a.m. Have a lovely day. So I'll be ending the meeting now for everyone. Take care. Thank you so much, Miss Light.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you, ma. We
Bye. Thank you
appreciate it.
very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you.